Broadcasting from the World Conference Center in Bonn, Germany, Solutions Review is on location at the FME User Conference 2023, the peak of data integration. Brought to you by Safe Software and Conterra.
Hey, it's Doug Atkinson, and we are back here in Bonn, Germany at the Peak of Data Integration event with one of our most favorite guests, Suzanne Sorotak, Director of Marketing at Safe Software.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming. It's been such a pleasure having you back here again.
Yeah, no, these events are great.
Yeah.
The culture is amazing.
Yeah.
And everything that's happening, I mean, it's happening all over this amazing place.
Yeah.
This hall that you have, it's something.
Honestly, we've been planning for a year since last year's user conference in Vancouver, and I have to say that this has exceeded our expectations even. So
Yeah,
it's gone even better than we had hoped. So.
Well, so right over your shoulder is a brand new logo.
Yes.
For Safe Software,
Yep.
which is, I'm sure, all your work. But tell us a little bit about the new positioning, the rebranding. I mean, I know that Safe is now heading in a direction that is maybe a bit more mainstream. Is that how you're thinking about it?
There's so much to say about the new branding and the new logos. It's really a journey to get here even, because when I first started as the Director of Marketing, I saw a need that we needed to position ourselves differently. We were now on the Magic Quadrant for data integration tools with Gartner. There's a different level of playing field that we're competing against with the players in that quadrant. And I saw a need for us to elevate that. I remember specifically, actually, Don came to me saying he wanted to go after the competition. And I said, great, where would you like me to send them? Because right now, at that time, our website was just highly technical and not speaking at the level where we were headed or where we're even playing in. So we kind of started this process, like an ideation process with a local award-winning agency that does branding. And Dale and Don were very specific, actually. They said, don't change the logo. You can change anything, but don't change the logo. I was like, okay, great. We will work with that. And as we went through the process and they saw where we are and if we made slight tweaks versus what an extreme revolution to the brand would look like and where that could take us, it was them that came to the conclusion that we were ready. After we're going into our 30th year now, we're ready for some change, you know? And they were ready to go to the extreme with new logos for everything. Specifically, seeing two logos that work together. Our old Safe Software logo and our old FME logo tended to compete with each other. Yep. And we don't want that. We want them to work together and complement each other. So it took us over a year of working with the agency, developing branding guidelines, working on these logos before we, introduced it internally, and then we launched with the new brand and about half of a new website.
Well, so I want to talk about the new website because there's more to just a logo, right? When you start to reposition a company and there's a larger narrative and a larger story you're trying to tell as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the key thing that's changed is that when Don and Dale started this and over the years, we were very niche, and our product, like FME, was predominantly in GIS departments versus an entire company or versus several departments or the entire enterprise. And now that that's switched over, we're promoting a platform. It's not just a desktop or a server. It's something that actually connects the entire company, the entire enterprise, or even enterprise to enterprise. So we needed to change our wording, even the new names of our products. We were going by FME Desktop and FME Flow. Those didn't accurately represent what we were offering. And we delved into the opportunity to come up with new names as well, new logos. It was a lot of change, but we've seen the elevation that we were looking for, and just since our launch in April, It's easier for partners to show exactly what we're doing or what they can offer and the value that FME has with the new website, with the new messaging, versus the old technical stuff and digging through the website, trying to find that right thing. Sometimes I think that people were just lost in all the technical jargon on our website.
Yeah, it's got to be a fine balance that you have to strike from having such an amazing loyal following that loves the brand and has grown with the brand to really trying to take it to that next level because you're at this amazing point, I think, in we were calling it an inflection point yesterday. With the way AI is in now and with all of the data available and the way that enterprises are thinking about data integration solutions in general. It really is necessary to kind of take it to that next level. And an event like this has got to be hugely helpful for kind of getting people comfortable with that change.
We have such a great variety of customer service stories, value of people are getting out of FME. We've spent a good year now really working with our partners that are working with their customers to really understand the ROI on that people are getting with FME, and it's even teaching a new language of what ROI is. It's not just how many hours they saved or money they saved. Yes, those are the obvious ones, but there's so many other ways to understand return on investment or value and the things that people are getting out of the product. So
it's interesting because I think we heard it last year. The notion that that you can now extend the Safe Software solution into kind of the more traditional data integration space as being relatively easy compared to what you already solved with the geospatial elements to it, which are way more complicated.
Right. When we launched in April, the key thing that I said about FME is we're actually 30 years, going into our 30th year now, but we're 30 years ahead of the competition when it comes to the geospatial aspect. We started with the most complicated, hardest data sets and decided to tinker into the easier stuff, the things that our competition is dealing with. And we really see, we're starting to understand that our understanding of geospatial is an unfair advantage to most of those companies. We do see competitors and even Tech Alliance partners starting to bring the geospatial aspect into their platforms, and we understand why, because we know the value is there. But now that we've seen it for a little bit, about a year, people starting to talk about it more. It was brought up at the Gartner conference this year. What they think is geospatial is still just a drop in the bucket of what we can do. So that's going to affect messaging moving forward as well. There's so much to position.
Well, and the cool thing about all the work that you've done with geospatial are the stories that you can tell now. And I know that on your new website, you're telling it's a bigger story than even just a data story.
It is.
Talk a little bit about it because it's interesting.
It's just front and center. I think the key thing that, even when I started at Safe Software, I was having a hard time understanding how to talk about this in an accessible way with people so that they understood something that we do at Safe Software is affecting everyone on a daily basis. But there's also the extreme that it's actually saving lives, it's helping with climate change, it's doing some
it's
miraculous...
responding to disasters. We heard from the Swiss humanitarian aid.
One story that I just love right now is Halo Trust, who they take away ordnance and mines, landmines, and they're working hard in Ukraine. And one of the key components that helped them to do and position so quickly with what they're doing right now was using FME. Or Doctors Without Borders, it just blows me away how many things are, their data-driven strategies are founded on GIS, on geospatial data. Who would know? Who would think? But really getting into those difficult places, into those countries, doing all of those types of things is really reliant on a location element, and no one does it better than our company does, and do it in an accessible way. One thing that really excited me when we were starting the branding process and going through with the agency, telling what's unique about us, is that specifically, and this is one thing I love about Safe Software, is we don't cater to the Fortune 500. We cater to the Fortune 5 million. We want these solutions to be accessible so we can see success stories like Halo Trust and Doctor Without Borders.
Yeah, it's an exciting time. Congratulations on all of this, the event, the branding, the website. It's really great work.
Thank you so much. It's exciting. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you, you too.